Yes, thank you very much. It's so important to see how the recruiter check the CVs in your eyes. Generally, most of our friends are living in Finland. I am living in Finland more than 2 years, but even I live in Finland, I am so a stranger to the Finnish system. What can you say about the Finnish system? One of our friends asked about the Finnish system interviews. How can we handle the interviews? How can we take off the control of the interviews? What can you say?
Thinking about the job interviews, I think again, one of the key elements to appreciate and acknowledge is that there are very many different types of hiring managers and recruiters. So there's going to be different types of individuals interviewing you, and I think some of the people, like to be very sort of, okay, I have a question, I shoot the question, and then you answer the question, and etc. Some people like to be a little bit more discussive, kind of like, okay, let's have a discussion, go back and forth a little bit and discuss about the job, discuss about the requirements and all the rest of it. And I think, that's kind of like the main thing. You need to be prepared, for different ways of an interview flows, if you like. Then when it comes to some cultural generalizations, there's actually the video link I sent in the chat discusses these in a little bit more detail, but the Finnish interviews, it's good to approach them in a bit of a blunt way. Be positive, but sort of to the point, so that if someone asks me, have I done, for example, a lot of international recruitment, for example, at this point, I would be saying no. I haven't been doing very much. I've been doing a little bit, during the years, previously, but not very much. And someone else with 11 years of experience in recruitment being asked the same question might be answering, yes, I've been doing a lot of recruitment, in very many different places, just assuming 11 years in recruitment will cover a lot of different things. And so be blunt, be transparent, but be positive that, yes, we haven't, I haven't done everything, but I'm eager to learn, when I'm motivated. And I think, if there's a little bit of bluntness, a little bit of transparency, but then kind of like the motivation and very keen on learning, and then coming up with examples, why you want to be learning, and not only that IT provides jobs, but also about, okay, so I've been learning JavaScript and TypeScript and React, for example, if it were, what you've been learning, and kind of like, okay, I've been really enjoying these technological elements, or then, I was very happy when I learned this and that. And, it's always a good thing to be talking about what you've been learning in terms of skills that are relevant for the job. I think, that's, something that I would take away from, for the interviews, is that, I appreciate that there are very many different types of hiring managers and recruiters who can be talking in different ways in the interviews. Be prepared to all sorts of relaxed conversations, and but then also to strict question answer, this kind of like interview, and then kind of like be transparent, but and to the point, optimistic, positive, give examples. I think those are the best ways best guidance that I can provide on how to, if you like, master the Finnish interviews in Finland. I think there is a little bit of a different logic to some other countries, whereby there might be a case of making a very strong case of yourself, whereas then in Finland, if the words are not backed up by the experience and the skills, then it can seem a little bit suspicious. One is very much pointing out, oh, I've done such and such, but if there's no concrete evidence, there is a bit of a perhaps lack of trust, in the interviewee at that point. Just for the last point, then this one creates a bridge of highlighting, I haven't got the experience, but I'm very eager to learn. And then the company's wanting experienced people. And then it's like, well, give me half a year and I can be quite experienced. And that's kind of like boils down to then demonstrating the keenness to learn and motivation and etc. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Yes, you are right. The patience should be shown in the interview. Do you think is it different Finland recruitment system other than the European countries? Is there too much difference?
I would say there's a little bit of a difference. I think the tendency in Finland is to be a little bit more down to earth and not making as strong a case as somewhere else. If you ask someone, a software architect or someone that, oh, you've been working for such and such a long time, with these different technologies, you must be, very good at it. And it's like, well, I know something, might be the answer. And that's, it's kind of like people play themselves a little bit down. And that's, I think that's sometimes a virtue, and sometimes it can be a curse also. And thinking about different European countries, I think there can be tendency of making a stronger case, kind of like of one's skills in comparison to Finland, and perhaps also expectation, for the person to make a stronger case. Whereas I think in Finland, there's a little bit of an expectation. You are what you know. You don't make a stronger case that much than what your skills are. But yes, that's a brief answer to that one.
Thank you very much. I watched your YouTube program with the shortcut about the hidden jobs. You are an expert about this. I want to ask: is this really too much hidden job in Finland? What do you think about it? Really, we don't see most of the jobs in the advertisement or LinkedIn. What do you think? What can you say about the hidden jobs in Finland?
I think the hidden jobs, they work especially in the most senior positions. So there's a lot of headhunting companies and such like that. If a company needs a sales director, for example, an experienced sales director, it might not put it out there for job applications at all. There might be a contacting of a recruiter, headhunter, from another company. Hey, we need such and such, person with such and such background, 10 years minimum experience, and then they provide 3 people in 2-3 weeks for an interview, and bang, it's, if it's closed, one is recruited, hired, that can be considered to be a hidden job, and that that can be the case too often, in my opinion. But then it's also a case of demonstrating one's potential, kind of like when reaching out and highlighting that, hey, I would be willing to provide you such and such help. If there's a company needing certain types of skills, for example, or if you read, for example, newspaper about Finnish investments, and you read a company has just acquired 50 million euros of funding, it's very likely that they are going to be hiring new people. And if you know that they've already hired people, with your skills, that's a great time to be in touch with the, hiring manager or a director or a recruiter, or, all of these people that, hey, just read that, you're going to be expanding in the coming months, and I would be very interested in having a chat with you. I have, skills in such and such. And that's a good example of how to try and make the most of the hidden job market, because when time and place match, just a contact to the hiring manager can be enough. It takes oftentimes a lot of contacts, but sometimes that can be the case.
Yeah.